Alright guys, we'll talk a little bit about what I carry in my trapping kit. In addition to traps, and I'll go over the different kind of traps I use in a later video. I'm sure you guys have all seen my dirt hole predator trap set, but I just want to go over the tools I carry and the different kinds of lures and stuff. Uh, I carry some pretty basic tools. All has a purpose. I carry a big camping spatula. Has a lot of uses on the trap. I use this in the handle to put my bait down in the hole a lot of times. Or I just keep an old plastic fork in there and use it. In this, I have a foldable shovel and pick combination, just a cheap Chinese deal. Really helps on digging them dirt hole sets and stuff. Of course, I carry an old hatchet and use it pounding my stakes, chop up the dirt for my holes where I put my trap down in. I carry a cheap, narrow garden trommel. I got this thing for $1 at the dollar store. This is what I dig my holes with, my bait holes. So I make the narrow hole and I put the bait and stuff down in the bottom of the hole to make the critter dig for it. I carry a cheap Harbor Freight folding saw, just for cutting roots and limbs and stuff out of the way if I have to. Carry a pair of good snips, just good kitchen type scissors. I got these at Harbor Freight for $1. But when I make a trap, I take and I cut clippings of dead grass and stuff on the top of the dirt that's covering the trap just to give it a natural appearance. Also carry a multi-tool, just a cheap Ozark trail. Good set of pliers. So many uses on the trail, helping set traps and everything. I also carry a pair of jewelry beading pliers, which I make native jewelry and stuff, so I got about 4 or 5 sets of these. But these come in real handy in making those round bends that you need to make on snares. So I've got a roll of snare wire here, 20 gauge, just for setting small snares for rabbits and such. Duct tape, of course, and also you use this to mark where my traps are so they're easy to spot. I carry feathers. You always want to tie a feather or two in the tree or bushes above the trap in the wind, and it really helps catch the predator's eye and draw him over to your trap. Cody will spot that feather from 200 yards away and come running. I use Koi Dog Cody Glen Lure by Kishels, and this is a combination of Cody P and some Glen lures and some oils and stuff out of their glands. Helps mark their territory, makes coats and other predators think that there's a coat there, been there and buried some stuff, and they can really smell this stuff a ways off. Carry a spool of old cheap thread for tying my feathers and such. Fish oil is a really essential item. And I use that on a lot of my sets. And I use different baits. I use anchovies, I use sardines. I use sardines mixed with honey. I use guts and pieces of hide and tail and heads and stuff from squirrels and my other game that I harvest. I don't waste anything. I recycle everything. I freeze it and use that as part of my bait. My main thing for bait in the bottom of the hole, what really makes a coyote want to stand there and dig, or a predator stand there and dig for it, is Caven's Minnesota bait. And you can see it works on fox, coyote, raccoon, and bobcat. You use 1 teaspoon per set. Put that down in the bottom of your bait hole. And you can use it alone or in conjunction with a good Glen lure, which is what that is. And it's really good. And I think I read up on it. It's got aged muskrat, mice, beaver, and I think bobcat meat ground up in it. And it's aged to where it's real good and stinky, and they can smell this for a long ways off. I keep a couple pairs of nitrile gloves in there, plenty of them, because you don't want to get your human smell off your hands when you're making your set in the area, so I use those. Also good for handling this aged bait and guts and stuff, as far as germs. A lot of these trappers buy a big fancy stainless steel sifter and all that. I use a good old fire sifter and I just dust, after I dig my hole and set my trap down in it, because you want to make a hole where your trap's sitting down so that the animal is forced to kind of step down in that hole and right on that pan when he's going up to that bait hole. And I'll sift real fine dirt over the top of that so the dirt's real fine and real loose and the trap will go off. Uh, you know, I've had that thing for years. That's what my grandpa always used when I seen him make trap sets. Um, Carry hand sanitizer, handling all these stinking baits and bait parts and stuff. You want to keep your hands clean. Scent Away, which is basically used for deer hunting, but it's a cover scent you spray on your clothes, but it has a fresh earth smell, so I use it to spray the general area of my trap just to kill any human odor that might be lingering or anything, any unnatural odors. Or I use Scent Killer itself as a brand, and it doesn't have an odor, but it will kill human scent good, and it works real good on cage traps and things like that. And then, of course, I carry paper towels. You want to tear, these guys use these fancy trap covers and stuff, to keep dirt from getting under the pan, but you can just lay a paper towel across it and it works just fine. Keeps dirt from getting under the pan and the pan will go off. But I just want to give a brief overview of what I use. I carry all of it in this bag right here. Born day sitting here at the office. I work at a car lot by myself. So figured I'd make a quick video. Let's go over some of the trapping stuff I use. And I use, different kinds of traps, conibears, leg holds, coil springs, long springs, snares, cage traps. I use a combo of a bunch of different ones, and I'll do a video on those this weekend or next weekend when I'm out in the woods actually setting traps. I just want to do a brief overview, guys. That's it.